Jak coś już jestem.
No dobra, spoko. Ja już generalnie odpaliłem na kanale, tylko kwestia jest tego, że no jest to okno, nie? Że stream zaczyna się wkrótce.
A masz je wyciszone na pewno? Sprawdzałeś?
Hi and welcome everyone. Today we have a special guest with us. It's
Special
Slawek.
guest.
Guest, one of the creators,
Because I
yeah.
am like
Slawek, when he saw that we are starting with the stream, it just simply Q&A, says it's a great idea and I want to be a part of it. I will show some of my skills here. And of course he would
streamer here, not a guest.
right now it is.
Okay.
But it's okay. All right. So today we will talk a little more about the survey that we made 2 weeks ago, and it was finished few days ago, and we have a lots of information from it. Also, we will show you a little more of the monsters that are in the creation right now, and in the next month probably will hit the Patreon release. And if you have any questions about the future, what future brings, and about the current stuff, just write a comment here and we will answer it for sure. Alright, so let's start it with few simple things from the survey. In the last transmission, the last stream, we talk a little more about the proportion of the world gamers and RPG gamers and just the collectors of the miniatures. But today we'll try to focus a little more about your ideas for the releases and what we will try to do with it. We get a lots of information about what you expect, what you would like to see in on our Patreon, and we love it. We really love it. It was great. It was very fun, and we will try to implement as much of them as we can. Some of you spoke about the basically idea for our Dragon Empire releases that we made at the beginning of the Patreon, and we were very proud of this line of miniatures at the start, and we like it very much. But after basically 3 releases with them, we get the idea that the people are getting tired of the Japan Chinese style miniatures for the wargamers. So we basically put it this line on the hold and don't do new miniatures for it. After this survey, we get a few asking about this type of miniatures to expand this line. Also, lots of you talk about expanding the previous lines, like vampire hunters, like swamps, like high elves, and so on. So we talk inside the Titan Forge, and we get the info from other people that maybe it's good time at good moment to make it. Also, soon the new Total War will hit the market, and there we will find the Katai. So we will see how it looks and see how the people will like it. And maybe even in this year we will try to implement the new release of the Dragon Empire on the models. If you would like to see something special in it, just let us know and we will get it into consideration, and we will think with a little more about how to implement it with our ideas and our view of this kind of models. Also, in the last week we start a little rework on our My Mini Factory, and we add all the bundles that we have supported for them. We are still missing few of the releases from the start that we need to make the new supports for them, or support it from the beginning, or just redo all the supports that were did in Chitubox. And when we get this, we will go with it and add it to My Mini Factory and add it to the other supporters that were supporting us on those months. So that's the basic information that I have for you at the start of this stream. And right now we can focus a little more on Slawek and on what he is doing
I,
on the
th- I
stream.
think my I think my stream is weirdly cropped on your side. I think it's resized like
Ah, okay. You see it? Alright. Give me a second.
sure.
Let's try to do this. Okay, yeah. Should be much better now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, when we start reading the ideas, many people were also talking about implementing more monsters and more basic units of monsters to our releases. So if you play RPG and D&D especially, you have some basic mobs that you can use in your adventure, and also some special monsters that you can implement in those adventures and so on. Not only the player characters and evil heroes, but also basic monsters and so on. And the Chimera right here is probably one of our first ideas how to implement something bigger in the releases. And basically from May release or maybe in June, we'll see how it goes with the sculpting and so on. We will add few of those to each release, so you can expect a little more towards the monsters and so on, without skipping leaving anything that we are doing right now. Also in this February release, when you see the full preview, you see that we basically show off a little more units that we are planning to implement. The way that we are show those, we're trying to implement in the next releases. So in each release you will be able to make the unit with the shooters, with the melee combat and so on. And we start adding those moving trays to the releases. So if you like those, let us know and we will make some of them for the next releases. Also, if you have anything special or want anything special from us, you can also write us here or on the Patreon, and we try to implement more moving trays or specific moving trays that will be usable for you.
Yeah, and we were talking about like different kind of things we can add to like so you can print them to display your models, because the movement trays were like firstly thought about to help you with in wargaming and so on, and many people said that they will use it as a display thing for the models they paint. So I think if you have like an idea for different kind of like a display things that you can use, that would be cool. We were thinking about like a small, like a micro dioramas, so like a small one model diorama that you can like assemble and display your model this way. But I don't know.
Yeah, but we talk a lot about the terrain and so on, and how to the best way to implement those and make them most useful for our supporters. So
There was
basically,
an idea like you Daniel did like a display like a thing for the elves when we did like this
highborn
highborn.
elves with the well that you can display all the miniatures.
Yeah, but I don't see anyone like printing them, so maybe this was like too big for the like
Yeah, I think so. I think so
printer.
because if you print it on the resin, it will cost a little more, a little much. And if you print it on FDM, not everybody is using FDM right now, so
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't have one question. We didn't have one question in our survey about the FDM printers or resin printers and how much people use those on those. because when we're preparing the terrain, we basically prepare them to the best as we can for the FDM printers, that you will be able to print them with minimum support. And lots of people ask about how to cut them to fit them in the resin printers. So in the last few months, when I did to bigger terrain, I also start to cut it, so you can put it in the printers like Photon Mono S, and basically in them printing size. But also I don't see much of our terrain printed and showcase it. So in this month, in the basically in the red leaf elves, I made a one bigger building that also is cut to fit the resin printers, and also is in bigger parts that you can print on the FDM, and a little more scattered terrain like logs and fallen trees and long chunks of wood. Also a few weapons from the red leaf elves, so you will be able to put them on the displays or on the mini dioramas or on the bases if you would like a little more stuff over there. But the bigger parts of the display of the models is cool idea. We will at the beginning of the February we will print the we will publish your Deadly Encounter from last month. We talked a little with Archivillain Games about it, and we decided that we put it at the beginning of the month, and in the second part of the month we put another one. In this Deadly Encounter from the January, you will see the new adaptation of the display with the bigger models and bigger part of terrain, and we'll see how the people like it. And maybe this is the direction we will go with some kind of the terrain or with the Deadly Encounter after all. Okay. So it starts looking quite good, I must say.
Which one? The Chimera?
Your Chimera. But you have to remember to put some kind of tree or rock beneath her foot.
You think so?
I'm not sure about this stable of this tail.
So the tail is quite thick, I think, and
but remember that it will have also the wings. It depends on how big the wings you will do.
The wings gonna be big, but I think that they're gonna be like lighter. We will see. I think it will be okay with the tail. The tail will gonna be it's big, but so she won't be. It won't be very stable because of this. Because the main main weight is like up here, so it will be like it might be like little unstable. But I think that the tail will hold the miniature. I think
if you show it from the side, I think it's good, because it's basically heading towards upwards without putting too much weight on the front of the model. So
yeah. I try to so the tail is bended like this, so you have like I don't know, the force is working like this, and
yeah,
I think
it should work. I think it will work.
The main like the line of the weight will be go right here, and with like a spinning tail on the base. I don't think it will be the tail will break, but the problem will be that it will be a little bit unstable. But I think that it's like a cost you have to pay if you want them to look like this. And I love this like a flying pose. I don't know. I don't want to resign.
All right. We can go with it. We will just print it and see how it goes. In the worst case scenario, we'll make tail a little bit higher. So tight.
Yeah, I would say. But I think from like I don't know really. It's like the feeling I have. It's like I did so many models right now. It's like instinct from me, and I think that it will be okay.
It's sometimes when you are scouting, it's hard to predict the scale of the model and the total weight of it.
It's true. That is true too. But I think it will be like smaller than we think, because we you see this like wings, and you think about our dragons, which are gigantic and really like I have the I have the models here. Some models. Yeah. So he will be like he's like this is
Two and
like
a
a
half
five
man.
uh 10 centimeters max, I think.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, so it's double this.
So it's 6.
Yeah, so it's like 7 to 10 centimeters. So it's not so big as it looks, I think.
Yeah, it should be okay.
Yeah, I think
Should
so.
work fine.
I think so
Like with this
too.
dragon from the Red Leaf Elves for February. When I first saw it, I just thought, okay, it will be cool and great. But when you print it, I said, damn, it's huge.
Yeah, it's always like this. Like I don't remember which one. The crystal dragon
Yeah,
you showed me. Like we sculpted it and we thought it's like a little bit bigger model, and then you you see how huge it is. Or
yeah. It
the
was
demon.
like 50, 60 centimeters from the front of the to the top of the head without the wings, and said, okay, we need to change it a little to fit it to the printers,
Yeah,
just to not get like 2 liters of resin to print it.
yeah. Same with the demon with the like a cage in his belly.
Yeah, yeah,
So we made like a demon, huge demon with a cage in his belly, and I thought, and he had like a cages, and in the cages there was like a prisoners. So I made it like a realistic scale with realistic like cages and guys inside of them, and when we compared the size of it, it was like a meter high or something like that. It was gigantic, so we
exactly,
have to change the design so it fits any printer on like yeah.
exactly. But it was cool experience about it. It was really cool experience about it.
Yeah, this is like one thing that you is problematic with 3D sculpting in like ZBrush.
Oh, sorry, I need to change. I mess up. Let's go with it. Okay, and I'm back here.
Yeah, so my day was sculpting this hair. So I have a new way of sculpting hair. Uh, I like make this like I made these blobs like this.
Basic
I don't
shapes.
know these shapes, these blobs, and I'm adding like a curve, uh, tube snap. The name of the brush is. So I made like these hairs, and then uh, I bend them with move topological. So I try to make like a
Lots
cool
of tiny
looking
hairs.
mane for this lion. This was like my priority in this model to make it look really like it's like moving in the wind.
And you achieve it. It looks really dope.
Yeah, and yeah, that was my day today, making this.
It wasn't wasted day then.
Yeah, I think so. Looks
Yeah.
cool.
So that's when you are sculpting bigger models and there are lots of feathers or the dragon skin with the scales and so on. We
Yeah,
spent like one day to just implement the scales on the top of the back or on the one
yeah,
of the arms and so on. And then we see our final product and said, damn, it don't look good. Let's change it a little. and we change it and make it again. And
Yeah.
this is the most boring and most less fun part of our sculpting.
Yeah, so some people like it, but I don't, I have a lot of little I have not enough patience to
Basically, because we are trying to avoid the automatic adds of scales and so on. You can use of many mini mesh ways of adding the feathers or the scales, but they don't look natural right now. So most of all we add those by hand. We are
uh,
adding like
so
Casper said, Control C, Control V.
yeah, but it's a lot of this too, and I try to make it like automatic. And the main like reason I make it like by hand, not automatically, it's because I'm lazy and I don't like to think about how can I like make
It's
uh,
easier.
my work easier. It's like this saying that you should spend like 2
2 days
hours.
to learn new skill and then get those 2 days in the next 2 months by using it faster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like using like sharpening your axe before you chop the tree, so you spend less time chopping the tree. But yeah, so that's I think the main thing. Uh, yeah, and I have to have something to whine about. So yeah, this is
Yeah,
the other.
that's the main reason.
Yeah, yeah. I think about the muscles on this guy because uh, he's not really a lion and he is not really a like a humanoid thing. So it's like a half
Mixed
in half. And I try to like implement some like cat
pa-
anatomy. So this like, for example,
arms.
this arm is like a more cat anatomy, and this belly, for example, is more human. So I don't know if it will look good really, but if it's
Right now
look,
it's looking okay. I don't
yeah,
see anything that don't work together, so it's cool.
yeah. So if it looks like a semi-realistic, it's okay. The worst thing would be like if you see like this is not something weird.
Sometimes
But
sculpting the monster is cool because you don't have to focus to make it too realistic because after all it's a monster and it can have his own anatomy.
yeah, sure. But still, you have to like have
Make it
something.
look a little more real, not just
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to
so
like have some ground to when you where
exact.
you
So
on.
when you see it okay, it can work, it can live, and don't look awkward.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I'm really need to make for the next month in the next week the post on the Patreon on or the Facebook a little more quicker and gather some questions from the supporters there. It will be much easier to talk about something with having some kind of subject to talk about.
Sure. You have to like find like a 100 best topics to small talk.
Yeah, exactly. That's the next idea for the birthday present.
Because there won't be like uh there will be questions, but there won't be so
So
many
many
questions
that
that you
we
have
can
like
talk about it for
yeah.
1 hour or so. Sometimes it's easier when
So you can
you are
so
scouting and you talk about what are you doing right now, but when we get two of us here, it's a little more harder.
Yeah. Sure. So what you did today?
In the last one,
No, today. What, you work on something today?
I mostly focus on my manufacturer and preparing the release for the next 2 days. Also,
Uh-huh.
we make some new materials for the promotion and so on. And I'm still working on the March release. So when you get the scale right for the March release, you can expect first show of the March release at the, I think, in the middle of February or around 10th February. And I'm pretty sure you won't be disappointed with the next release. I like when it goes and how it looks.
Yeah, I seen the first like prints from next month release, and I don't know how much do you want to tease, or
Let's keep
or
it. Let's keep it as it is right now.
okay, sure.
Let's first
So
release February, and then we can talk a little more about the March. Don't spoil too much before the previous month's release.
okay, sure. Yeah, I seen the prints. They are looking cool. I'm like quite happy how
How they goes?
how my part of this month will look. I don't know if you've seen them.
Yeah, I saw it. It's cool. It's really cool. Okay, guys and girls, I think that we finish here. It's a little bit quiet. Quiet. Not many people watching us for now. Not many questions about it. We talk a little about the survey. We talk about the monsters. We talk about the next one. And hopefully we have a little more to talk about in the next month. We will probably spoil a little from the March release and tease you with some models from March. That's for sure. Also we talk a little more about the upcoming changes. And if you have any questions, just leave the comments here or comments on the Facebook page, and we will try to answer the best as we can. Thanks for being here with us or watching us in the later on. See you next time.
See ya.